right, welcome back this week to the KG Flow. This week I have a hardworking young man here, Mr. Matthew
Young.
Nelson Sr. Uh, so, so go on, Mr. Nelson. Introduce
Hey,
yourself.
Kenny G, it's great to be on the show. Been a well, been an acquaintance for you for a long, long time since Gunning River and all the parties in the basement with Matt and you guys and all your friends. It's an honor to be here, sir.
It's an honor to have you here.
Now you're lying, but I get it. Go ahead, shoot. Dude.
So yeah, just give a quick introduction about yourself, like where you're from, what you do, and
Originally, Matthew Nelson Sr., great wife, and Teresa Nelson, the most important person in the planet. Jennifer, Matt, Laura, Morgan, and John are the kids. Born in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, moved around. Been in Jersey, now down in Port St. Lucie, and do a rad waste technician. I do radioactive waste throughout the country now. I process radioactive waste.
hey,
That's what I do.
there
That's
you
it.
go.
Nothing. It looks good in the movies, but it's kind of actually boring in real life.
That's funny how you say Port St. Lucie because that's where I used to grow up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What part? The tradition part?
Mm-hmm. Tradition.
Oh, there you go. What restaurants you eat at there? You eat pastillos there, Kenny?
Nah, I was
Oh, I forgot. You have an expensive palate. You
no,
know, you have.
well, last time I lived in Port St. Lucie, I was a teenager. We hit the movies and
Oh,
the
on Route One
mall.
there,
In
the
the
movie theater
mall.
on Route One.
Mm-hmm. That one.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But
that's we're on the other side in tradition now, so pretty good. Terry takes the kids for a walk and takes the dogs out. We like it. I mean, it's just with Jen having a baby, we're going to head over to the West Coast soon, shortly, and that's what gives me the freedom. With the job of going around the country, we can live anywhere. So we choose Florida. We love the weather. I ain't gonna lie about that. One of the things I wanted that for the younger kids, Matt, Jen, and Laura. I wanted to get them over there, and I failed with that. But I got Johnny and Morgan over there now. So Johnny does paintball all the time. Morgan goes out for walks all the time. Just so much, you live down there. So much more to do. I mean, plus low taxes, property taxes compared to Jersey.
isn't
You know what
that
I mean?
crazy? Isn't that crazy how you're gonna be a granddad, grandfather?
Yeah, it is. But life goes on, Kenny. You know what I mean? You move forward, and it's very excited me and Terry. For that. Very happy for Jen and Eddie. And they're getting an opportunity down in Florida too, which is great at the same time. So a lot of changes for them going through, but they good smart people. Jen and Eddie, and they're a good team together, and they're going to be good parents. They're going to be real good parents. You know what I mean? And same thing, you got Laura over there to support Laura and Oliver. Once Oliver gets back from Jersey to Florida, helping his parents out, gets down there. It'd be a nice support system. They could spend time together. And me and Terry are going to be very happy to go over there and have 4 to 5 kids, about 5 children over there. I'm sorry, to be together. And Matt will come down, with Jen, his Jen, and probably bring Kemma, one of your friends. You know what I mean? Kemma, who Kemma is, right? Just
Yes, I
checking.
do.
Just checking. I don't forget when we used to drive you guys from the Shell. There's a lot of stuff I seen, Kenny, but I won't bring that stuff up here. Yeah, but it's
I
good to be a grandpa. It's kind of weird, I mean, thinking about it years ago, but now it's different. Jen's not the little girl anymore that when we were living in Seawarren, walking her in the stroller anymore years ago. They all grow up.
I know
They
it's
they mature, and they've done very well. All my children have done very well for themselves.
no, yeah, I obviously you work hard, you keep the family together, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, the situation it is with Terry and me and Johnny and Morgan down in Florida. I do feel bad for Terry. She's extended down there, taking care of Morgan and John and the 3 dogs. I think it works though. I see them, like, I've been on the road now for like 5 6 weeks now straight, and I won't be back until probably second or third week in September. Hopefully by then Jen's gonna have the baby, and I'll see my grandson. And Matt's gonna stop down, and then I'm sure Matt told you we got a trip going to Germany. Me and Johnny. We
mhm.
asked if you were going, but they said no. They said you weren't allowed in that country or something. Something happened in the past when you were in the Marines, so they didn't want to talk about it.
No, I was there at Berlin and Frankfurt in January, and I already spent my time there, so I'm good.
Oh, so you didn't want to go with Matt and Jen? Is that what you're saying?
They can have it.
Oh well, no. Me and Johnny are going to go with Matt and Jen, and it'll be good culture change for me because I'm used to the Caribbean and I like the beaches and all. You know what I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Kenny?
I know where you are. All right, so going into our first serious topic here. Of all the issues in sports going on today with the merge with the PGA, Live Golf. I know there was also been with like The John Morant case issue, also to um just the like I don't know if you saw it, but Mbappe got offered $1 billion just for
Oh yeah, I
playing
seen that from Saudi. I do
playing
actually. I
yeah.
am actually into. I don't really watch the NFL or baseball, but I am still an old basketball. I'm a big Sixer fan, and NBA is like my number one sport. I know a ton about it. I mean, you want to brush up on a John Moran thing. It's a shame because he's so talented, and you get caught up in doing knuckleheaded things. And I mean, Barkley and Shaq put it best. If you watch them on TV, they put it best. It's stupid things when it's a God given ability because you have millions of kids out there that in the end it comes down to a game, Kenny. That's all it is. I mean, millions of kids out there to try to do this, but the god-given ability for some of these people, you know to be blessed with talent like that, and then you know ruin it and make a mistake. So hopefully, I think if he gets the right support system around him, the team is great. It's not the real big city that it's not the Lakers, it's not the Celtics, it's not the Knicks. So he's fortunate with that, where the media isn't that rough on him. I think a kid like that coming from a smaller D1 school will bounce back, with that, and you hope for his future, and I think he will. I mean, there's been a lot of bad press for the athletes for an NBA, and I think it's unfair. I mean, the trading and all with Harden, that's like I said, I'm a Sixer guy, so that bothers me. But in the end, it comes down to business for them. And if somebody offered Kenny G a ton of money to go here from whatever you work at Jetty now to say, hey, Kenny, we want you working at ESPN and offer you a ton of money. Let's be real, you're not going to say no. So you're always out there thinking about that, and it's business. It always comes down to business, and for somebody like the kid Morant, who's just a great, talented kid, a great player. I think a top 15 player when he's healthy. I mean, I hope he turns it around. You don't wish for horror stories with that. He's at the start of his career, and you just hope that he has an opportunity to flourish. And you know what? He'll be a good role model to teach these other kids, younger kids, in all the right way. Because he stepped back and he stepped in a pothole and made mistakes. So hopefully he comes back stronger than that, and the younger generation will understand. I mean, back when I was growing up, Kenny, was Moses Malone and Charles Barkley. You probably don't even know who Moses Malone is, but he was my favorite player of all time.
No, he was a forward for the Sixers. I know.
No, no, no. Moses Malone. Barkley was a forward for the Sixer, but Moses Malone was the championship center, played for the Rockets, played in the ABA, played for numerous teams throughout his career, but a rebounding monster, a big time scorer, really just a power player with down low moves, beating up on Kareem. These guys set it up for this current generation now with like Jaylen Brown getting a big deal the other day and all. These guys set it up because at the time in '83, I think Moses Malone signed believe it or not, a 6-year deal for like $13 million. Now these guys get that every week. Somebody like you gets that paid every week at your job, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that, you understand, when you watch, they're human beings and all. And, I think, going back to Moran, I think they make a mistake. But these older guys like Barkley and all, they're free to speak. And that's why I love Barkley and Shaq, because they speak their mind. They don't really worry about other opinions. They speak the truth and they speak how they feel. And they bashed a little bit on Morant. They bashed Ben Simmons and all. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be in life. If Kenny G had Jay Morant's talent, he wouldn't be talking to me right now. Right or wrong?
No, you're right. No, it's just funny because in my class, this that I've been taking this summer in issues in sports, I had a presentation about the whole case and all that, and but I agree with everything you're saying that he's had a slight pothole in the beginning of his career, but it's all up to him. It's all balls in his court. He can bounce back from this, or he could just go down that path where he has all the talent.
Here's some life lessons that my dad used to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
You're responsible for the person in the mirror, and if he does that, he'll do good. I mean,
well, I'm gonna quote you from that.
You quote me whatever you want. That's a Joe Nelson thing. My father told me, but if he's responsible for himself, he's worldly talented, and good for the city. And I think it's just he's young. He's young. You young guys don't understand the life. I mean, you see, as the older guys in anything, in sports or in life, we work extra hard. I'm 54 now. You work extra harder because, I have to take care of Morgan and John and Terry. I want them to have the good life. I want them to have the good life down in Florida. I want Terry to have the nice house. I want Morgan to go to Disney. I want John to go to paintball every week. I want the good life. We carry a heavy load. And it's some of these older guys too. When you like a Russell Westbrook took a massive pay cut this year, but he's still playing. What do? You just stop and quit? No, he comes back and plays. And I happen to think he's a talented player. It just he has a particular fit that didn't work with the Lakers, but it's working with the Clippers. I mean, a young talented kid like Morant has the world that is in the future, and he just has to make the right decisions and surround himself with the proper people. Hey, you guys used to hang out and do stupid things in high school. Yeah, I mean,
Who, me?
Matt,
Nah.
and all the other guys. You used to fly down Gunning River on a skateboard. You messed up the Honda Civic on Gunning River. You did knuckleheaded things, calling 2 o'clock in the morning in LBI, packing 10 people into the car while the cops are watching you. Everybody does stupid things. I have done stupid things. Terry has done stupid things. We learn from them. That's why we teach history and we learn from it. I think Jay Morant, I've seen him play numerous times. The guy's amazing. But I think, hopefully that this doesn't slip away from him, and it's a learning lesson for this younger generation to say, hey, even the top guys, even I don't call them heroes. I'll call them athletes. We don't Heroes are not heroes are the Marines, heroes are the veterans of this country and the police officers. I call these guys athletes that make good money, and the kids look up to them. Hopefully that he could set a good example for the younger generation to move forward.
Hey, there you go. Hell yeah. Um, so yeah, it's funny how you said Civic because I got the new one, right?
Oh, I thought you were leaning on somebody's car in that picture. Sorry, my bad.
That is mine. I
Yeah, you
I
got the
bought it.
turbocharge in there.
Like it's a sport, so it's got the
You got the turbo.
yeah.
Oh, must be nice, Kenny. I mean, you're doing well. You've done good. Civics are the best. You know how I feel about Hondas. My Pilot's got 310,000 miles, and
Still going
Matt.
good.
Oh, still going good, dude. It's on the road. 310,000 miles. I head to Nebraska tomorrow, and by the time I get home, it should have about 320. And change the oil, do timing belts. That's it. You do your own thing, Kenny. You don't trust those dealers. I changed the oil myself, and a couple things you have to do. I had the condenser on it bad with the AC, but you know what? Still runs like a clock, and I'm a Honda guy. You know that, Kenny. Matt
Yeah,
and Laura. Look at Matt and Laura still, right?
they're still.
They still got theirs from high school.
I know, I know.
You had yours. You had yours with the Band-Aid on the bumper and all. I remember you had little dents on there and you had Band-Aids on there and all, like you would hide it and all.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey man, I may be old, but I don't forget. I'm an elephant. I don't forget, Kenny. Good. Shoot. What's next?
No, I was gonna say, it's funny. Now that you're staying in Port St. Lucie with the whole fam and everything, I know I've told you a couple times before that I have a lot down there. And me and my family are deciding what to do. So, once I'm done with Rutgers, like obviously I'm gonna have to choose like a career. Like I still don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Whether it's like my
Well,
options are,
Kenny, with somebody like you, now me and Matt talk about you a lot, and believe it or not, it's good. I know you probably don't believe it. With the experience you have from the Marines, the experience you have from college, you have a golden opportunity in life. You really do. Similar with Laura. Laura's got her degree, and Laura does a similar path. Laura's a hard worker. She does her dog sitting business now. She's applying for a assistant soccer coach, in Tampa. You got a good opportunity. You just when you take that path, you'll know. And it is, and I hate to say it, it's going to sound awful, but it's not. It isn't always about the money. It's about the future. What's best for Kenny Alejandro in the future? That's how you have to look at stuff. Your mother and father probably tell you this all the time. I've talked till I was blue in the face with Matt, Laura, and Jen. And sometimes, they don't like it. And, Kenny, you have to make the best decision for what is for you and your family for the future, whether it's in Jersey, whether it's in Florida, wherever you move. And with your background with the VA, which helps a lot, it covers you on loans. It gives you that maturity and that you need in life that, the younger generation needs. You have an opportunity. So, but I will, on the other hand, coming to Florida is not all roses in the Disney trip. When you come down, it's totally different because I came down first. I left from Maryland and got the job down there. And, it's different. The car insurances are higher. You have to adapt to certain things. Like you go to do your registration on your car, it's going to be higher. The house prices, if you're going to build, you got to watch out for everything from CDD fees, to HOA fees, high HOA fees for builders, the exponential costs and escalation fees and all stuff like that. there's so many things to learn, Kenny, that, when you move forward with the next step of your life, your parents and your friends, it's best to just pick the brains of everybody you know and gather as much information as possible for Kenny to say, okay, this is what's good for me. And the other stuff, you don't blow it off. You just take it and you move it aside. It's maybe later on in life for information. That's what I'm saying. So when you have all this education and all, and you move forward, it'll be a good thing for you.
No, yeah,
You'll,
I
you'll
I
do good
appreciate
things,
that.
Kenny.
Yeah,
No
because
problem, dude.
I always try to do like my research with everything, whether when I was in the Marines or even now, like I try to figure out what's my next step. When I try to be like try to think like you sometimes, like plan A, B, C, all the way to
Hey,
Z.
let me tell you the plan about me is surviving. I have I have a high school diploma. Me and Terry, first got together and I tried to do college, working a couple jobs, and thank God that Terry got through. But you learn to survive and you adapt, and you do your hustle, you do your side works, you build decks, you finish basements, you pressure wash houses, you cut lawns, you find your niche. And at 54, I'm a nuclear technician now, and I just put together like $1 million system in the power plant in Mississippi. You always find your way. And am I good in any way? No, I'm an average person. I just work. Now look at Matt. All those years. I mean, we laugh at Matt all the time. Matt Jr., not Matt Senior. But he had the world at his hands. I mean, in every meet that he would go to in Tom's River, the bubble, he was a god there. They were chanting his name. I mean, he
We
won
chant
up against the big.
we chanted his name at the high school at the pep rally. He
Yeah,
was
yeah. I mean, and the local newspapers and Associated Press was there when he was winning the big races and all, and he made that into a career for him. The Capitol Police. So you find your opportunity, and you have your fun. But when it comes time, and it comes time for you to move forward, Kenny, you'll know. You'll know. I mean, you make decisions wisely. Don't just jump into anything. Don't go running through a minefield. Make decisions wisely. And Matt did. I mean, we offered him a ton of advice. He did it all on his own. He did that all on his own. I mean, when he moved forward in his life, and me and Terry are very proud of him. We were nervous. His parents were nervous for every kid. I'm sure your mother and father are nervous for you. But you get nervous because you don't know what life is going to throw to him. And January 6th and all the other crap and all. I'm not talking politics. I don't take sides because they both stink. But I remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember being nervous, but that was the career he chose, and he came out as a better human being. Going from the runner in Barnegat High School that was a little unmotivated, with the schoolwork and all too. Look at him now. I mean, Kenny, that's going to be you. It's going to be mirror images. Same thing with Laura and Jen. It's just you move forward with life. And you do what's best for you. You do what's best for your family. And it sounds awful, but sometimes you need to be selfish, and say, hey, what I'm going to do for me. And this is what I think I need to do, whether it's moving away from friends, whether it's, chasing a job that, nobody really understands, but you do, and you really like, and you feel is a good fit. It's the way it is, Kenny. I mean, sometimes I hate to say it. It's just, and you should know this, like stumbling onto a girlfriend. You never know. You never know where, what I mean? Could be the Shell, could be, could be anywhere, what I mean? Could be, La Bamba. I don't know,
this past weekend I did a model show at the show.
You did a model show at the Shell? What were you, a
Mhm.
mannequin or something?
No, I was by the pool walking down with a partner. So
With a partner?
yeah.
Did you get paid for that?
No, it was volunteer. It was volunteer. So, but
Oh,
I got picked. Like, we
you got
want
picked
you.
by who?
My marketing director from Jetty. She was like,
And
"Can
they
you
didn't
do?"
pay you?
It's volunteer. It's not paid.
Oh, come on now, Kenny.
I got two free
I ain't gonna
drinks.
lie. I volunteer and all, like Terry's friends and all, when you need help and all, work on their houses and all. I volunteer and all that, but I never been in no model shows.
I mean,
What?
I got a free
Describe this model
outfit.
show for me.
I got a free
What'd you
outfit,
get?
and I got two drinks for free.
Well, you everywhere you go, you get drinks for free, right? Because you're Kenny G.
That's right.
What was this free outfit? What was this free outfit? A pair of
It
sandals
was
or something?
no, it's from Jetty. If you saw my Facebook, I posted the photos from the show. So
I don't really pay attention, Kenny, when you come on. I ain't gonna lie.
really, because you like to comment on my
Oh,
pictures
I always
sometimes.
comment when I see something, but I really, it's a comment. Some of us don't live the luxurious life of Kenny Alejandro. So when you're in your black and white photos, facing off against the middle schoolers on a beach, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I can't help you there. You know what I mean? Go ahead. So no,
No,
but the model stuff is good, but yeah, man, you get into a point in age, volunteering is one thing, but get yourself paid.
true. That's why like after Rutgers, I'm definitely gonna like look into like my career and all that. But it's funny that people everybody thinks I look like 22, 23, and they get shocked when I say I'm 28, and they're like, "Really? Like you look young." Like, hey, Mr. Nelson, sometimes people age like fine wine. That I guess that's me.
Are you want to go this route? You want to go this way? You sure you want to go this route?
I'm just
So
saying.
if they say you're a lot younger than you look, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I
Oh, so they
guess.
say you got the maturity of a 10-year-old then, or what? Or is that the same thing they say that? You gotta be
No,
careful when you start playing with a knife, with a sword, there's two sides to it. So yeah, when self-praise stinks, Kenny. If you've been around me long enough, self-praise stinks.
hey,
I don't like the man in the mirror anymore with me. I don't really look in the mirror. You see with the beard all now I'm on the road and Terry doesn't know I have a beard. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I kind of just after 34 years of marriage, but self-praise stinks, Kenny.
I'm just saying, hey, I still got it,
Got
if I
what?
look,
What
if
do you
I
got?
look, if I got my looks from my, young 20s, I'll
Oh
take
my
it.
God. What
I'll
what are you,
take it.
Matthew McConaughey or something now? Or Brad Pitt? What do you think? You're gonna be a model because you volunteered or something? At some beach thing in a resort town?
Just
Do
saying.
I don't have model looks. So do I get to go on there? I'll volunteer. Hey, I volunteer. Let me well, who do I walk with? Cardboard cutouts and all? What are we walking with? Mannequins here?
No.
What's no, I didn't. Yeah. You see, I'm not up with this hip stuff and all. That's me, Kenny. You should know me long enough. And I talk, I say stuff, but you won't hear stuff about me. You don't hear
Mm.
me praise. You don't hear anything like that. I put my wife and my children the highest standard.
Pedestal.
Me, you
The
won't hear
highest.
me. The
Gotcha.
highest standard. The highest standard. There was no bigger fan than Laura for soccer. And that was proven by taking her all around this country, going to Cherry Hill, driving an hour each way for practice. There was no bigger fan for Jen running in Monmouth or playing soccer, traveling her around the country, going to Maine, going to Florida. There was no bigger fan for Matt. Not only with running, but just moving forward with life. It was me and Terry. Well, Terry's was a big fan of Matt. She's always had faith in Matt. I get a little nervous, but you know what? When it came time to move forward, there was always somebody waiting there. I made everything. And that was working nights. That was working 12 hours up in printing before I got nuclear, working up in Jersey City and Secaucus, driving 94 miles each way. There was times I'd fall asleep at the soccer games for Jen at that point. Later on in life, I was in nuclear when Laura was there, but I would leave work early just to get Laura to Cherry Hill on time for practice. Or Matt would remember the Jackson Running Club where he went to Niagara Falls.
I
That's
remember.
that's how to do it, Kenny. You don't self praise stinks. I could give. There's another life lesson. Be
Hey,
proud of the person in the mirror, but self praise stinks.
hey, you.
It's better to judge with your eyes than with your ears. So just watch what people do, not watch what people say.
No, I got you. I also wanted to say that thank you for supporting me every time I came over. You made sure I didn't leave the house, on an empty stomach. So I appreciate that.
Well, it was always with Matt and Laura's friends, and it was nice. We had the ultimate house there, and the basement was good for you guys to go down there and play your games and watch TV. And I got to say now, it's been years now since you guys were in high school, and I do miss the parties. I really do.
Oh, you
I
missed
mean, it was
them.
nice to. I do miss
Really?
them. Yeah, it was good
I remember
to
you were
have
like, "Oh,
everybody
I
around.
don't want." Like I thought you were always like, why I gotta set up
No,
the."
no. Terry will tell you that. Terry will tell you that. I enjoy that because it was the cooking and all. Hey, Kenny, don't forget. We had Terry's 50th birthday party in the backyard as a surprise party. I do that stuff. I may be boring and all, but we do that stuff. And the cook was me, and Andre was there. I remember Andre loved my cooking, and he used to come up all the time. We talk. Andre and Marco and Kirk. Kirk was great. George doing his thing. Laura's friends and all.
Hmm.
You guys grow up and you guys, move forward in life. But me and Terry hope that you guys had comfort there, and you came over and you felt comfortable in our house, and we welcomed you guys, and especially you. You're like another son to us. To the Nelson family. You were always with Matt. And we always considered you, a great guy. All of Matt's friends and Laura's friends and Jen's friends that came over, we were happy. It was good downstairs. We had it. it was entertaining. It was good for everybody. You know, music was playing. You guys were doing, once you guys got of age and you started drinking, we made sure that you guys were safe. It was pretty cool. You know, some of the stuff that, was done for you guys was pretty cool. Hey, me and Terry never had that. I ain't gonna lie. My father used to beat the shit out of me with a 2x4 or belt. You know, I never had that. I worked since I was 8 years old, delivering papers and cooking and, working in freaking printing when I was younger. Never had that. So I wanted to make sure that Matt, Laura, and Jen had that opportunity. And I hope that me and Terry gave them opportunity. I'm sure you heard horror stories from Matt and Jen and Laura, how bad it was for us. But, we gave you guys opportunities and it was pretty fun. I mean, Kenny G was there playing pong. What was that? That bounced the ball on the cups and all. I remember all that.
Bounce the ball.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, beer pong. There you go.
Beer pong. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, there you go. And plus chauffeuring you guys around. I mean, come on, man. Who gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go pick up you bunch of clowns from LBI when you're all drunk and stupid and you're drooling on Kemmer and all? Come on. Who does that? Come on, you guys are making out in the back of the car behind there when I dropped you off at your house over. Oh, you seem to forget, right?
Not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, hey, I wear glasses, Kenny, but I still can see. I ain't blind. And you drooling on her and you guys talking. I get it. No, I get it. Don't forget, me and Terry, we were happy for you guys. Me personally, I wanted to make it good for them. Matt, Jen, and Laura, and Terry went over the top. Terry would get whatever you guys needed to make you guys comfortable. And that was all Matt's friends, all Laura's friends. I mean, Laura had some idiot friends from Tom's River South at one time, but what are you going to do? That one party was lame because those idiots. But after that, yeah, I don't know those clowns. But that's what I'm saying. I was hoping, me and Terry do miss that. When we get a house and we get in Florida, we're going to do that again. We're going to have the pool in the backyard and we're going to have everybody come over. Not as big as we had there with like 40 kids downstairs.
I hope low key, I kind of like in the future, like how about we just me and you split a boat? I want to get a boat. I'm talking about a boat.
Kenny.
Here's
business. Here's business, Kenny. Do what's best for Kenny. Now I'm going to tell you, you're 28 now, right?
Yes.
That money that you want to buy with a boat, you should invest. Whether it's a Roth IRA, an IRA, a VO account that gives you 5% back, money market fund, stuff like that, no risk. That's your boat money. You got your Civic now, which you need reliable transportation. I don't care if you have payments on it or not. That's irrelevant. You need reliable transportation. But boats and all, me and Terry are at the age now where it's towards the end of our careers and we should be buying a boat. We don't even talk about boats. I know I've talked to Eddie about it, going into a boat club down in Tampa, Florida and all. When the time comes, it's different for Eddie and Jen than you. Kenny needs to focus on the boat money needs to go to the IRA or a VO account, which I'm sure Matt could hook you up with because Matt is my guy now. Matt's my investor. So if a boat costs 10 grand on your side of it, take the 10 grand and put it into a VO account or an IRA, and then I'll see you in about 30 years. No, true, right, dude. I've had 4 boats already too, Kenny. They're holes in the water, dude. You just throw money out. You don't want a boat. Maybe a jet ski or something for fun. You don't want a boat, dude.
Well, I can whip a jet ski. You know that.
Well, yeah. What?
I said, I can whip a jet ski. You know that.
No, I don't know that. Enlighten me.
I used to work, as a jet ski patrolman. Come on.
Yeah. What was that? You had to tie the stuff up to the buoys and all, or is that what you used to do?
No,
just like you and Matt used to surf in a foot of water, right? With all your fancy pictures and all, look like you're on a bonsai pipeline and you're in 1 foot of water in Beach Haven or whatever you were. Come on, yeah, Kenny. I'm old, but I ain't that old. These glasses actually work here. They're not here for fun. These glasses actually work. And I'm not that old where I can't forget stuff.
I got you.
Invest, Kenny. Invest with your money. I do appreciate the offer. I don't do business like that. Invest your money. If you have spare money, then now's the time at your age. Compounded interest is the most powerful thing in investing. Whether it's the market or real estate or anything, it is the most powerful thing. Talk to Matt. Matt will tell you. Matt's done amazing things with him and Jen. He's the one I really bounce everything off now, and he's the one that is really leading me forward with my 401k, with the VO account, Terry's pension. I mean, that's what you need to do. At your age, Kenny, it's just a simple chart too. If you take a amortization chart and just put out the compounded interest, if you have X amount of money and you say, okay, I'm 28, what it's gonna be when I'm 62? The numbers are amazing, dude. So awesome. You don't need a boat. Boats are just, dude, go, you know what? Find a friend that has a boat and buy him a case of beer, give him $50 for gas, it'll be the best $50 you ever spent in your life because you're not responsible for the boat at all.
Gotcha.
That's the best thing, dude.
I got you. All right.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Wrote the book, bad investment, and had a 22-foot walk around cuddy cabin. Computer one on it. We spent about 10 grand on a boat in 3 years. We just donated. I put about 5 grand into it. I couldn't fix it anymore. And my brother's a marine mechanic. It just don't do it, Kenny.
Gotcha.
Get
All right.
get friends. Get friends with somebody that has a boat.
All right, I hear you. All right, with time winding down, is there any last remarks or anything you want to say just to give out to the audience or to whoever?
What do you want to do? What do you want me to talk about? What's the subject?
No, no, no.
Mark?
This is just last remarks. Like anything you want to say. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's been pleasure. Like I said before, I miss all the guys. I miss Matt's friends coming over. I mean, I actually miss, a lot of John's friends coming over too. And, Morgan had a little group and all in Barnegat, different down there. But, you move forward in life and you mature and then you keep your friends, in distance. The phone is there, family's there. And, Terry's the most important person in the world to me. And I talk to her every night. I talk to her as soon as I get out of work. I bounce everything off her, whether it's good or bad. So when it comes time for you, Kenny, when, you go break bread with Kemo, whoever you're breaking bread with now, communications is key in everything. And that's in any subject. If you communicate, whether it's politics, religion, football, pick a subject. Communication is key. And that's the most important thing in this life that I think everybody forgets. We don't talk enough. We don't, we just yell and scream at everybody. And I think the communication key is, gone now. Everybody pointing fingers and all in this generation is kind of sad for me to see. You go from a different generation where your age group has it pretty good, and all your friends are spread out and all. I mean, as long as you just got to keep in touch with everybody, Kenny, that's the most important thing. And like I said, I keep in touch with Terry all the time. I try to talk to Jen, Matt, and Laura as much as possible. I did talk to Matt and Laura today. I haven't spoken to Jen yet. Always communicate, Kenny. And I hate to say this, whether it's good or bad, always communicate. And your life will be good. So remember that with Kim.
Gotcha. Thank you. So I appreciate you coming on here, taking your time. You've been firing all this wisdom and philosophy, and I appreciate it.
Not wisdom, dude. Not wisdom.
So with that being said, this concludes like another episode this week of the KG Flow. Thank you again, Mr. Nelson. Like, obviously, I admire you, I respect you, and then I can't wait to
don't admire me.
See
Admire Matt. That's Matt Jr. Admire him. He's hey, go get a job with him at Capitol Police, dude.
All right, we'll do. All
right, Kenny. Hey, man,
with that being said, everyone have a great time. Have a good weekend. Until next time.
Later, dudes. All right, bye.